Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today there were supposed to be very peaceful demonstrations over the death of a teacher come blogger, Alberto Juang, who died while in police custody. And the demonstrators had issued a notice to the police officers, and the expectation was that they were supposed to be provided with security during demonstrations. But today's demonstration turned out to be one of the most sinister demonstrations we've never seen in this country. Why am I saying so? Because since time immemorial, we've never seen demonstrators being attacked by hired goons and the hired goons being accompanied or being provided security for by police officers. This is something that has never happened. The police officers and hired goons joined forces in plain sight of Kenyans. And at some point, these hired goons were attacking innocent Kenyans who were walking down the streets. But the question is, who were these hired goons working for? So many people have come up with different theories. Some people have said that these goons were hired by Nairobi Governor SAKAJA. I'm still not sure about this because these are just allegations. But there is a statement that SAKAJA made it's a week or so back, which I want you guys to watch.
Demonstrating for your rights is allowed, but we will not allow destruction of property again. Haitafanyika tena Nairobi. Haitafanyika. Ukiona watu wanachoma magari, yani mtu umetoka umeenda town na gari yako inachomwa, that will not bring back our brother. Si ni kweli? Na hao wakora wanajulikana, Your Excellency. Kuna wale wamenaswa kwa kamera, wamenaswa, picha zimepigwa wakivunja hizo dustbins, wakivunja kabro. Kuna barabara nimeweka brand new Victorian lights wanabeba. Please, they must be arrested na wafungwe na uwe funzo kwa watu wengine. Public property belongs to the people of Kenya. Si ni kweli? So hata kama tunatetea haki zetu, kwa sababu katiba inasema you can demonstrate so long as you're peaceable and unarmed. Ukikiuka hiyo, this country must be a country of the rule of law. So wasijaribu tena, watanipata town.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that statement that has been made by Governor SAKAJA is quite unfortunate. Because for someone who is governing Nairobi, like a father to all Nairobians, be it those who opposed you and those who elected you, they expect you as the governor to provide services to them, including liaising with the national government to provide security to businessmen, to those who are going to demonstrate, and even those who are staying at home. So if it's indeed true that the governor's hand was in all this, then it's quite unfortunate. We are losing it as a country. And save for that, even if the governor was not involved, but who could be so brave to bring youths or goons to hire goons, let them ride freely in the streets of Nairobi, then these guys are supported or are provided security by police officers? That person must be someone who is very connected with this administration. Because look at it. For police officers to have done this, there must have been some serious coordination, whereby these goons had a team, and this team might have talked to the police officers who are going to provide them with the security. And as you watch that video, you'll see that These guys are running towards demonstrators with a convoy of like around 5 vehicles from the police service, which is quite unfortunate. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you know, there are countries that have fallen, and it has taken them years and years to come back. A very good example is our neighbor Somalia. It takes a very small thing to bring a country down. Some of these things that we are taking for granted, or our political leaders are taking for granted, might snowball into something else. Because if we have elected leaders hiring goons to come into the city center, the capital city, and walk around freely attacking youths, attacking those who are freely walking on the streets of Nairobi, then that is a very, very big mistake. Because it's like they're communicating that for you to survive in Nairobi, maybe politically, then you need to arm yourself with goons who are going to protect you. So this is the message that they are sending to other political leaders. And at the end of it, as we head into 2027, what might happen is we might see political leaders or political aspirants coming up with their own, let me say, goons or gangs that are going to protect them, are going to protect their territories, are going to protect their constituencies. And what happens at the end of it? What happens is that with all these people coming up with their own gangs, there's going to be a lot of chaos heading into 2027. Because imagine a situation whereby you are in an estate. Take, for example, pipeline. You might have like around 5 or so political leaders. And if these political leaders are going to have gangs and goons that they're going to hire and are left to roam the streets freely without being held accountable, then they're going to harm their opponents. They're going to harm those who they feel like are threats to their political life. And this leads to chaos at the end of it. And who suffers at the end of it is the common man, not the political class. Several countries, like, people have given examples like Haiti. In Haiti, what happened? The political class started protecting goons. Then goons, over time, they operate like hyenas, in that a hyena, once it has tasted blood, cannot be stopped. They will go to any length to get blood and to get to eat whatever has blood. And that is the way goons and gangs operate. Because with time, whatever politicians are doing might not be sustainable, in terms of financing them. And if it becomes unsustainable, what happens is that these gangs now start collecting taxes, they start levying taxes, they start coming up with ways of financing their operations. And the mere fact that they are operating with the blessings of the police officers are also recruited into these gangs, whereby they become part and parcel of the operation of these gangs. They provide them with intel, they provide them so we end up with a very chaotic situation, just like it is right now in Haiti. And weeding out these gangs out of the society becomes a very serious problem, because at the end of it, the common man will get to a point whereby they neither trust police officers or trust the political class, but will trust the heads of these gangs, because they'll be able to provide them with security. They'll be able to levy taxes and provide them with security. So that trust that is given to the political class or the ruling class will be eroded. And that is how our society might go down. So whatever happened today was quite unfortunate. And I think it's something that President Ruto's administration needs to work on. And they need to call out whoever, because I know they have the information, they have the intel on who did all this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would expect a statement from the CS Internal Security because he knows what happened. I would also expect a statement from the higher office condemning what happened today. More so on the issue to do with gangs, hired goons, working together with the police officers and enabling these guys to attack innocent Kenyans. If you look at the videos that were circulating on social media, you'd be shocked that innocent Kenyans were attacked, some were stolen from, some were beaten. And you know, why I'm saying that it's becoming very dangerous is that if you look at the videos, some of these guys also took advantage. They might have not been hired, part of the hired goons. But then the guys who take advantage of the situation and exert more pain on Kenyans. So ladies and gentlemen, whatever happened today is quite unfortunate. And even to the governor of Nairobi, he needs to come up with a strategy. What he should have done was to partner with the national government, come up with a strategy on how to secure Nairobi so that businesses are not attacked at the end of the day. Guys would have gone to their businesses, operations would have been very smooth without any interference from other Kenyans. So ladies and gentlemen, because remember, peaceful demonstrations are allowed in the Kenyan constitution. What police officers need to do is to come up with a way in which they can protect these peaceful demonstrators so that they also do not interfere with other people's day-to-day activities and operations. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us tonight. If you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye-bye.